Good afternoon. So you've made up your mind. You've decided to grow tropical fruit trees in the Central Valley or in a similar climate where they shouldn't even grow here. So you've got really two options. First option would be to stop by your local, as in the nearest local in our climate in the Central Valley is probably gonna near the Los Angeles and the San Diego region, Southern California, where they get virtually no frost at all, and tropicals for the most part thrive in those areas. But up here, there are literally no tropical fruit tree nurseries. You're gonna have to just take the trek down there and visit some of the tropical fruit tree nurseries if you want option A, which would be to buy them from the local. Again, I'm using the word local. It's a good 3+ hour drive for us, but yeah, just take a trip down there if you want to get tropical fruit trees from the nurseries. That's option one. Option one is kind of expensive. Okay, it is. These kinds aren't cheap. They cost a pretty penny. However, in the long run, though, in my opinion, the fruits themselves, just because you absolutely cannot get fruits in your local supermarket, the fruits themselves more than make up for it. And it's also just a cool factor, having these in your yard in the Central Valley. So that's option one. I mean, again, in terms of price, I got these. I mean, these are fairly small. Basically, all of these were shipped from various wholesalers in Florida. Shipped to the Southern California region, and we of course go in and get them. So yeah, they're a bit pricey. I want to say they range between $51 and $57 per tree, and that was on sale. Imagine if they're not on sale. So yeah, they're not cheap. Option one. The cool thing with option one is it's mostly a grafted tree and mature tree in that you're buying about a year or two in advance. So nothing wrong with option one. If you've got the money for it, go for it. So option two is something that I want to talk about today, and that is to just grow them from seed. So here we are, we're approaching the end of May. Therefore, no more frost. In fact, this right around this time, right around April and here to its end of May is like perfect time to start germinating tropical fruits trees from seed. So let me show you. This is what I've got going on. Like, check it out. I mean, this is like amazing. And again, just about every tropical fruit trees are, I mean, these guys want to be able to make it. They want to germinate from seed and therefore spread their genetics in the Central Valley. So there's no excuse. Well, I shouldn't say that. The chances are great that they will sprout for you, germinate for you. So, like, check it out. I mean, mangoes. I've got, again, practically 100% success rate with germinating mangoes from seed, various mangoes, Kent mangoes, Manila mangoes, uh, yeah, just about any mango. I mean, like, again, just like, yeah. So now, also papayas. Like, look at this. Hawaiian solo papaya. Yeah. I mean, all you need is like one or two. I've got hundreds of them in here. Even more so here. I've got dozens of them in here. This particular batch was germinated on April 30th. So about a month later. Yeah. So yeah, most tropical fruit trees, give or take, generally start sprouting in about a month. And of course, newest attempt here, mangosteen. Last night, this batch right here. So full disclosure, mangosteens, the purple variety, of course, incredibly difficult to germinate from a fresh fruit. The problem with the quote quote fresh mangosteen fruits that we get are they're not as fresh as you would think. Oftentimes, by the time you pick it up from an ethnic grocery store shelf, these guys are probably sitting there for about maybe a week already, which would mean the seeds aren't very viable. So I actually luckily yesterday scored a nice batch. I mean, this is the freshest batch of mangosteen that I've ever got my hands on in the States. I mean, the stems are like literally still green. The package date on these were uh, April 26th, and I got them yesterday. So I'm sorry, May 26th, and I got these yesterday, May 29th. So just like 3 days later. I mean, it these came from Thailand, so it probably was put in a plane, went to customs, and then here they are. Yeah, mangosteens, one of the world's best tasting fruit. And the thing too is the reason why I know this is fresh is the fact that I can do this with fresh mangosteens. This is actually how you would go about opening it. Just press it against your palm of your hands, and then open it up. Yeah, this one is actually showing some signs of getting old, but it is still really good. So yes, and the cool thing with mangosteens is generally in a fruit there's bound to be one or two seeds. I keep trying to germinate these. I had varying success of germinating these from seeds, but hey, I've got a bunch of fruits, mine as well. So yeah, and man, also scored a catch yesterday as well. Look at that wax bamboo. I mean, this was literally a hole in the wall. But yeah, no, luckily they had these. I mean, I've got nearby trees. In fact, here's one right here. Growing here, of course, grown from seed. Um, but yeah, no, they absolutely grow here. Again, this one doesn't have any seeds, but on occasions there's a seed or two in here, and they grow. I'm telling you, they grow. So yeah, like check it out. Kaimito, okay, softwood, all grown from seed. Dark sapote, mangoes, just mangoes. So apple, kaimito, black sapote, a jamun. I mean, mine as well. And of course, jackfruits. Yeah, jackfruits. I mean, just grown from seed. More mangoes. Yeah, and of course, again, papayas, Hawaiian solo varieties. So, and also cool thing too when germinating these from seeds is the fact that have they acclimate so much better in our clay soil, in our native clay soil. In fact, when putting these guys in the ground, which I plan on doing so eventually, I actually don't even amend the soil. I just pop it in the ground, cover it up with native dirt, and they grow. Yeah. Um, And also a cool benefit too is the fact that from seed, majority of these will start producing fruits for you pretty early. You're talking in the jackfruits, you're talking maybe 2 years. Mangoes, maybe 3, 4 years at the most. Star fruits, maybe 5 years. Same with the kaimitos. Uh, Wax bamboos, you're talking maybe 3 years. Uh, yeah, so nothing wrong at all with germinating these from seeds. And papayas, you're talking about maybe 18 months, and then these guys will start producing food for you. So yeah, this is the results of germinating these about a month ago, which I will now take you back in time to show you. Before I show you the process of germinating some of these fruit trees from seed, these fruits from seed, I will say there are some fruit trees, tropical fruit trees, that you do not want to germinate from seed. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just the time that it takes these trees, when germinated from seed, the time that it takes them to produce fruits for you, you're talking decades, if not more. Like my mesa pote here, sad looking guy, yes. He's actually going 4 years in the ground. Um, Same with the lychee here. I mean, yeah, these guys, it would be my recommendation that you just get a grafted or an aerated unit. I mean, like my mesa pote here, okay? Grafted unit, obviously, you could tell. That's great here. And then the lychee back here, aerated. It's from a mature tree. That's great here. So, and avocado, grafted wheat avocado. That's great here. So, yeah, I would advise, I would not recommend that you grow those from seed unless you just want to try, just because. I mean, why not? I mean, I've got them in the ground, so might as well. In fact, both of those were volunteers, so that's why I'm just leaving them the way they are. But the vast majority of tropical fruit trees will produce fruits for you fairly quickly. So starting off with everyone's favorite, cherimoya. Probably the one of the world's best tasting fruit. I wouldn't say the world's best tasting fruit. One of the. Yeah, these guys, I've got so many volunteers in my yard that I really don't know what to do with them. But all you do is find a ripened cherimoya. These are a bit hard. I would imagine these to be ripened on the countertop generally within the next couple of days. But this is a bit hard in my opinion. But yeah, these guys from experience have practically a 99% germination rate. So really, now bear in mind within each fruit, depending on the variety, you may have more seeds, you may have less seeds, but you're probably going to have a good number of seeds. Therefore, giving you the increased chance of getting more seedlings. So let's start off with these. Ah, look at that. We got a visitor. They're usually shy, but I guess not today. Anyway, going back to where we're at. So let's start off with these three. My go-to. Half sand, half peat moss. Literally, just stick it in the soil. Water it. And because of the addition of the peat moss, I'm not too concerned that it's going to dry out. I mean, yeah, I would just keep it moist. And in my case, it helps to label it with the date, if you can. Yeah. So emphasis on drainage. Peat moss and sand combined gives you really the perfect combination of drainage. Makes a great seed starter. So I'm gonna kind of pack it down and water it some more. So let's wash my hand. All right, one down. A few more to go. You know what? I'm gonna just take time to eat this really quick. So this is for demonstration purposes. I'm gonna go and just toss these in the ground, and I'm fairly certain these will germinate in my yard. Okay. I don't know if you can see it from that angle, but there's a hummingbird right there. It helps to invite wildlife to your yard. They they help out with insect and other pest issues. It's also just peaceful in general. So let's go back. All right. Next, papaya. It is my recommendation that you just germinate these guys from seed. Just because you're bound to get hundreds of seeds in here. This is actually a Hawaiian solo variety. So yeah, you're talking hundreds of seeds. I mean, look at it. Papaya is smaller than a mango. Even as a Vietnamese mango is larger than the papaya. The reason why they call it a solo is because it's a personal papaya, as in you can eat it by yourself. So with papaya, my recommendation is to use a slightly larger container, just because, and I don't do anything special. I really simply just scoop all the seeds into the container. Nothing fancy. No need to dry them. Yeah, don't need to, don't overcomplicate things. Just literally scoop it in, including some of the flesh, because why not? More chance. So naturally, what's going to happen is you are going to get dozens and dozens of seedlings going from this container. Now the goal is pluck them all out, except leave like maybe 3 or 4 large ones. Everything else, I wouldn't even take the time to try to split them. It's just not worth the effort. Just stick with 3 or 4 papaya seedlings. And I'm gonna go and just kind of mix them in here. So, and next step, again, just growing medium is half dirt, I'm sorry, half peat moss, half sand. Yeah, I've had practically 100% success rate with germinating papayas, and they do phenomenally well here in the Central Valley when germinated from seed, which practically all nursery bought papayas are they're at one point germinated from seed. All right, next step, everybody's favorite, mango. Just a classic Kent mango. All right. So after consuming the mango meat, gently cut the shell of the mango seed. In doing so, leaves you with that crack. And at this point, simply try to pry it open. There you go. That is what you're after. Take out the protective film tissue here. I don't know if this step is necessary, but it wouldn't hurt. I've had great successes with leaving it on as well. Okay, so with mangoes, use a Ziploc bag and a damp paper towel. And really all you do is simply wrap the whole thing up. Just like that. Put in a Ziploc bag. Let's move on to the jackfruit, everyone's favorite. One tip about picking the ripe jackfruit, okay? Look for the bumps where it's not so pokey. These are more flattened. And also when you push it, it does give in just a bit. When it's soft like this, you could tell it's extremely ripe. And also, just the smell alone kind of gives it away that it is ripe. So with jackfruits, again, I had practically a 100% success rate with germinating the seeds. So naturally, you're gonna cut into some seeds, but that's okay because each fruit has a number of seeds. Let's see if I can just take a slice of it out. Alrighty. So as you can see, I've cut into a number of seeds, which is fine. A tip about jackfruit seeds. These are actually edible once you boil them. It tastes very nutty. So if all else fails, save the seeds, boil it, eat it. See if I can find a, a good seed in here. So here it is. The fruit where the juicy fruit gum is, the taste of it anyhow, is based on. That is all you need. Same thing, just literally stick it into the ground, into the potting soil. So that's really the gist of germinating some of these readily available tropical fruits that you can get from your local grocery stores or your local ethnic grocery stores. So anyhow, all right, have a good afternoon. So this is a, a, a particularly good tasting mango. Not that all mangoes are bad, but this is it's native to Vietnamese or Vietnam. I'm not going to even try to pronounce it. So the exact same propagation method. So the cool thing about this mango is the fact that I actually prefer to eat it green. It's just really, really, really crunchy. It's a lot like a an oversized Kyo Savoy mango. Ah, no. Well, you know what? I actually cut into the seed, so but you know the gist of how you would propagate a mango. But this guy is a goner.